the guinea pigs collected. All will be assimilated. Resistance is futile.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Bunch of slap-jawed faggots around here.
Hey everybody, what's going on? And welcome back to the Guinea Pig Collective Nibbling Live. Today we're going to be doing stories from the water cooler, and we got a wonderful panel of guests hanging out with us today to talk a little bit about themselves. So we've got Trina from Real Heart. What's going on, Trina?
Not much. Happy to be here with you guys.
Always a pleasure. And we got Slasher Big Splitter in the house. What's up, Slasher?
It's good, man.
Every time. And we got the super fan Adam Shawhan, Pop Cyclops, and the Wiener Dog Clan in the house.
That's right. Look, you're growing, man. Look at that. Look, PWO's catching on in style.
That's right. Even wrestlers want to be part of the pig world order, people. There's no better time than to jump on board and be a pig. Wait a minute. Did I say that out loud? YouTube would be coming for me, no doubt. What's going on? Keely Chow up in the house. What's up, Keely? I hope you're doing well. Tree Rock Creations also up in the chat. What's up, Tree Rock? Scrambles the Death Dealer. What up? Man, I hope that you're doing well. If at any point you want to stop in, just let me know. I can always throw you a link. Super fan, of course, in the chat as well, and so is Trina. So we're going to get started with this. Some stories from the water cooler. I guess I'll start off since it's my show. I mean, Jesus, I don't know why I always got to start there. I mean, just because it's my show, I have to be the one to start things off all the time. This is bullshit, people. Somebody should be pulling the weight for me. I'm a little guy with tiny paws. This isn't fair. But I've talked about a lot of different things that I've done over the years since I've had this channel up. And I know some people, I've gotten into arguments with them, and they say, well, you've never done anything. I've never done anything. I've talked about how I played in a band. It's one of the things I talk about quite often. I do some of my own music on some of my shorts, and of course, some of the other things I do for the channel, including the little outro that I gave for Cringer, his own little dirge, shall we say. But just share some photos. Like this is actually me in 2006 playing at a place called the Saint in Asbury Park. So when they say, "Did you really do those things?" Like, I don't know. I mean, could that possibly be me with that goatee? Nah, no way, right? There's no way that the same tattoos are on this guy's arms that are on mine.
No, I thought I was looking at a picture of Biohazard on stage.
Right? But yeah, so there's that. Yes, I did play in a band. Yes, we did play out. And yes, my music is on the end of every last one of my regular videos that I put out. It's actually a snippet from a song that my guitar player and I wrote called Dead Time, based on the old James O'Barr Crow books. And this one is of the, I believe that was called, oh God, I forget if that, it wasn't Dead Time. I forget what that series was called, but it actually had a chick who was the protagonist of the series. So this is what you hear, and this is our song for that. One of those songs that we never did have a chance in the studio to finish completely. It was kind of crazy. Yeah, internet reset. No problem, Adam. But yeah. Stink whistle in the house. What's up, man? New avatar was closest thing to a ball I could find. I think you nailed it. I think you nailed it. You're at work right now. No problems, man. No problems. Sort of miss the band, being in a band. I do at times too, and then other times dealing with a crazy drummer, I don't miss it because I don't. I don't know how many people have had the experience of playing in a band with a drummer. It always seems like the drummers are nuts.
I was gonna ask you, like, did you guys clash at all? Was there egos and people like trying to outshine other people with their egos and be like, no, we're gonna do this? Is there anything like that?
Yeah, well, between me and the guitar player, no. And it's not to say that when you're playing in a band, you don't all have a little bit of an ego. You do, because if you don't, you're never going to improve. You're just, your playing style will be stationary and you will never improve on it. But as far as like me and him clashing, like trying to outshine each other, no, because we each had our own little spot that we had picked to do extras, like whether it was that bass line that I have that is really powerful and heavy on the end of that part of that song that I was playing, which that's like the bass line through the whole damn thing, and that's like the standout piece in most of the song. But he had plenty of songs where it was mostly him shining. We all had roles to play in each different song, and yeah, the only one that tried to outdo everything was always the drummers. And we had 3 different drummers. One guy was really good, but he had tons of health problems. He had a wife that had cancer and everything, so he had to leave the band. The first drummer, kind of a team player, except when he got into this thing with overdoing it with rototoms to the point where he would drive us nuts, and it was like over top of every single thing we were playing. And it just made us want to throttle him. And then the last drummer, who was just a complete egomaniac. Like,
it's all right. I wasn't in this band, but I had friends that were in a death metal band, and the drummer, like he said, he was the one who tried to be the control freak of everybody. I don't understand, because like, all right, like my friend who was the bassist ended up leaving the band because he was tired of their shit. And they stayed together. They got a new guy to play the bass, but they got a new guy to play bass for them. And then eventually, the lead singer became a fucking crackhead, and they replaced him with this. They replaced him with this chick that I had messed around with a couple times, and then the band was just done after that.
So no Pookie on stage is what you're saying.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, he fucking threw his life away on crack. He ended up like meeting this girl. They like ended up like homeless in New Jersey. It was ridiculous. But
that's the worst place to end up homeless too. That's where all the gay frogs are.
It was just kind of funny seeing the way it unfolded with this band, because they were really trying hard in the beginning. They had a couple gigs at some clubs and shit. And just shit, it went down the shitter for all of them.
Yeah, I know. We were kind of at that point where we were starting to play out a lot of different places, and then the drummer went completely schizo, and then everything got canceled. And Scrambles. The last time he played on stage was around 2005. I played after. Obviously the pictures I was showing earlier were from 2006. We played out a few more times after that before everything just kind of crumbled into dust. Bad Take Bojan is in the house. What's up, Tina? Hope that you're doing well. Stink Whistle. Last time I was on stage, Donkey wouldn't stay still. You'll ever be into a donkey show? I always had problems with drummers too. Don't know what it was with them. Right? I'm telling you, they're all nuts. You obviously never worked with a donkey. Bone! What's up, Bone? How you doing, man? I hope that you are well. So there, I started it off with something. Trina, do you have anything that you would like to share?
I can't think of anything right now. Definitely not that comes to that level.
What level? Just playing out in the band? It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, I anything as cool as that.
Slasher?
Like I said, I was never in a band or anything. I guess the only thing I could think of that, like, that my friends and I organized, and it's funny too because it was two of my two friends that were in the death metal band. We my friend had a video camera, so we just started like. At first, we started taping each other doing like wrestling moves to each other on the concrete and shit. Just just like little snippets in there, and then eventually it turned into like we had like a 3-man backyard wrestling federation. It was really stupid, but it was fun doing it. And we came up with characters and shit like that. We did it for a couple months, and then the two of them got into an argument, and then I got pissed off at both of them, and then we just stopped doing that shit.
Yeah, and once you start getting mad at each other with something like that, where you gotta trust the other person, that probably won't end well.
Yeah. We used to like collect weapons and stuff. Like we found an actual fucking old school metal garbage can that we were using. We were using folding chairs. It was fun. We'd get pissed up, piss-faced drunk, and just go to the park and fucking beat the shit out of each other. Videotape it. It's funny too. One time, like we're setting up in the park to start the match, right? And we had a case of beer, and we had thrown like whatever like clothes we had on top of the beer to cover it, and fucking cops come pulling up, and it was like it was past, it was after dark, so they could have gave us summonses. They could have kicked us out of the park and gave us summonses, but we're like, oh no, we're doing a documentary about backyard wrestling. The cops like, oh, all right, and they just drove off. They let us do what we had to do.
That's kind of cool.
It was cool of the cops to do that. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, cops in Jersey didn't have no love for me. They did not like me whatsoever. So I got nothing but grief from those bastards.
Yeah, cops here were 50-50 with me. There were times where cops were complete fucking assholes, and then there were other times. There was one time where a cop caught me drinking a beer, and I thought just right away, all right, I'm gonna have to pour this beer out, and he's gonna give me a summons. The cop's like, just finish it and get out of here. And the cop stood there and watched me finish the beer, and I just got up and walked away, summons free. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah, Bone says he hates when drummers spontaneously combust. The Scrabble said his last band ended when he told the bass player's girlfriend he was being abusive and cheating on her, and she told me he would talk shit behind my back, steal from me, etc. Yeah, fucking thieves. That is one thing as a pet peeve of mine. At some point, I may get into somebody that many of us know because of what I consider thievery. He ended up getting shot to death by a cop. He was all fucked up and came at the cop with a knife. Damn. Yeah, stick whistle. Women pit men against each other like that. Yeah, I hear you. I'm not creative. What's going on, man? I hope that you were doing well. Good to see you, buddy. Hey, another Tuesday is already rolling out here. Iron Man, target, lock missile away. Oh, yeah, direct hit on that like button. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. Papa Cotton. I kind of drag my nut sack across the like button when I come in, but your way works too. Shit, man. We already gotten some fucking some pretty heavy stuff here, and Trina's not sharing. This is terrible, Trina. This is just absolutely terrible.
Were you never the lead in a school play or anything, Trina?
No, nothing like that. Honestly, like my life was just pretty boring. There was, drama at home and stuff, but that stuff I really want to talk about. I never really got in trouble like with cops or anything like that. No, I wasn't a good kid, but I never got caught.
So you were a bad kid that just didn't get caught.
Oh, you
Yeah.
were sneaky.
Yeah, I was.
You
Yeah,
were sneaky. Okay.
it was easy because my parents didn't really pay much attention.
Wow.
You know, so yeah, I could pretty much like. My friends thought like I was allowed to do whatever I wanted, but really, my parents just didn't know what the hell I was up to. So yeah, that's fucked up.
Yeah, see, I was always a public enemy number one in the household. I mean, it started off, I was, only child, and so I was blamed for everything to begin with. And then my brother comes along 11 years later, and I'm automatically guilty of everything.
Because he was the baby.
Yeah. It was kind of the mom had the final say who was wrong, and usually it was me.
I was the baby in my family, and I got blamed for plenty of shit. Rightfully so. I wasn't the greatest kid in the world, but I wasn't a holy terror like some of the other kids that I fucking grew up around with.
And it's not to say that I didn't start my own fair share of trouble. Okay, I started a lot of it. But usually I was provoked. For some reason or another, I somehow wound up getting provoked. Wasn't like I just went out there and instigated something just to instigate.
No, see, I was a vandal. I did a lot of vandalism as a kid. I was a fucking asshole when it came to shit like that. See, before masturbation, for me, there was vandalism.
But now you got that all worked out.
Like, even in my own house, I had a problem. Like, I took a fucking glass cutter and I started carving little triangles in the mirror. My fucking mom and dad see that. What the fuck is this? Like, what? What?
Papa Cotton pleads the fifth. I'm not creative. He's trying to get his newest cat from chewing on wires. If I'm on the computer, he tries at least once or twice to play with them. Yeah. So I got a story for that too. So I had Cliff Jumper out one day. Cliff Jumper, this is when I used to let Cliff Jumper just run around on the floor all the time. Him and the other pigs. And then one day, I caught Cliff Jumper playing with the cords, and I seen that he was chewing on it, and I picked him up, and lo and behold, that son of a bitch had damn near completely chewed through my HD TV wire that was going to the back of my Xbox. And I was like, wow, you son of a bitch. There was like multiple holes in it, like right down to the wire. I'm actually kind of surprised he didn't shock himself a little bit, but the power, I think I did have the power pack unplugged. So it wasn't like the system was plugged in. So yeah, he wouldn't have got zapped anyway. But imagine if he would have been out and I had that thing plugged in, he probably would have zapped himself.
Damn.
Oh, Billy Boy, when you ever find what it is you're looking for. Scramble says, my cat always climbs on my synthesizers, guitar, pedal board, PC equipment. Yeah. Animals will do that, man.
Yeah, cats love electronics.
I mean, apparently the pigs do too. But I'm going to talk about one other thing that I've done. And some people notice, some people don't. So, I mean, one of the things I did do for a while, because I was always doing artwork from when I was younger. So one of the other things I wound up getting into is I wound up doing tattooing for a short while. And a lot of people don't know that. I mean, I did this for my wife. Trina knew what it was right away, or pretty much right away.
Rocky Horror Picture Show?
Yep.
Did the Eagles logo for my wife's father. And then,
that's nice.
And then on my brother, I did the exploited skull.
Yeah, that's
Nice work.
that's cool.
I had a lot of fun doing that, but yeah, once the back and the knees got really bad, It just took that away because you got to kind of hunch over to do the work a little bit, and you got to stretch the skin out and everything. When you're like kind of bent over like that, if you got a bad back and bad knees, like trying to do that kind of shit ain't no fun. The last piece I did work on is I did a piece for my daughter on her 18th birthday, but I unfortunately didn't have enough back left in me to even try to attempt to color the damn thing. So she just basically has a black and white tattoo. Yeah, Rocky Horror. Yeah. See, Scrambles knew that one too.
But you got that Eagles logo on point.
Yeah,
you know what?
Totally.
That thing looked even better when I first did it. By the time I took the picture, it was like a week or two later. And well, I'm going to start off by saying her father's Polish, so he partially has an excuse. But he was getting in the shower and he was washing it directly under the water, which is a big no-no.
You're going to go into Archie Bunker mode now.
Are the rumors true? They're true. But he was washing it directly under the water with soap and water and a rag. And that's a big no-no with a new tattoo. You don't do that. You kind of like, you get it wet from the side and you just kind of damply, like with a wet cloth, just go over, get the blood and everything else off. You don't wash it right under the shower head. You don't do that with a fresh tattoo because it starts taking the color out. So, yeah, by the time I took this picture right here, he had already put it under the shower and washed some of the color out.
Oh, man. Well, how does it look now? Like, how long ago is that?
Oh, geez. This was goddamn. This had to be like at least 15 years ago.
So how's it looking now?
It's definitely more faded than this.
Mm-hmm.
Because, he kept washing it like that under the shower and just like took a whole bunch of the fresh ink out of it.
Yeah.
But like my brother's tattoo, it pretty much looks the same. I mean, it's a little washed out over time because that happens with the ink. They all eventually fade a little bit. But the wife's tattoo, her Rocky Horror lips lost a lot of the red. She does not hold red ink very well. And it has something to do with like people's skin pigmentation and everything. So certain people can hold certain colors and other colors they just can't hold very well at all. And hers apparently is red because every time she's ever had anything with red, it's just faded right out. And
when I was reading, because I don't have any, and I had started thinking about getting one in like as memorial to my parents, and there was one I was thinking about getting, and it had a red balloon on it, and I was reading all about tattoos and stuff like that, and I read that that a lot of people are allergic to red ink. Did you like run into that problem?
Say it again.
Well, to make it shorter, I had read that there are a lot of people that are allergic to red ink.
Allergic. Yeah, I missed that. That's the part I missed. So
okay.
No, I haven't run into anybody who was allergic.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that goes with any of the other colors. And what's going on, Curtis, man? I'm going to get to everybody's comments in a second. The only thing I did run into is the same thing as my wife, where, certain people just couldn't hold certain colors. But I have heard about that before, and that has to do with some of the iron that's actually in the inks when they make the inks for tattooing. What's going on, Steve?
What's up, Stig?
What's up, Stig?
I popped on to harass Tommy.
Well, then you've come to the right place.
Yes.
Yeah, most people don't know that about a lot of the tattoo inks, that they have a little bit of like iron and stuff like that in them. So it's part of the reason. Well, it's part of the reason they ask you if you have tattoos when you go to get like an MRI or a CAT scan. They ask you if you have fresh tattoos or if you have tattoos in general.
Oh, yeah. They've asked me if I have tattoos. I just reply that, you don't put a sticker on a Ferrari either.
They usually ask me, like, do you have any prison tats? Like,
prison tats?
Yeah. No, I don't have any prison tattoos.
Not yet.
So you do have an interesting background.
No, it's such a weird. It's such a weird question.
There is something that Trina is not telling us.
I'm thinking there's definitely some prison stuff in her background.
I want to hear Trina's prison story.
I do not have a prison story. So
Tell us what you did to Marge.
Did you have to kick someone's ass on the first day so you weren't a cell block bitch?
I wasn't gonna be someone's bitch. No.
Trina's I had my shank ready.
I watched a movie once with a bunch of big-breasted ladies that were in prison, and it said on the cover that they were busting out. So I thought it was going to be like a prison escape movie. It wasn't that at all. They didn't want to leave at all. They were quite happy in there, friendly even.
They voluntarily dropped the soap.
Yeah, there was a lot of soap, yes.
And it went somewhere special. Scrabble's death dealer. I drew a huge skull and bones on a roommate. The guy tattooing him ran off with his money, and he had to finish it. Damn. Tattooed himself and tattooed late wife's finger. Nice.
Well, if he has a skull and bones tattoo, you're kind of advertising that piracy is okay. So no wonder the guy ran up with the money.
Yeah, UV light. Yeah. Thank you. I'm not creative.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, man.
Thank
like
you.
I said earlier, good to see you, Curtis. Disney sheep herder. What's going on? I hope that you were doing well. Thanks for stopping in. Scramble says, he said, Tina, I read that too. Luckily, never met anyone allergic to tattoo inks. So he meant to say Trina.
Yeah, he dropped the R.
Did he drop the hard R? And there goes Bad Take Boge. And there is Tina. My 17-year-old niece has a prison tattoo. It was done by one of her friends and got so infected. Damn Gen Z.
Oh, man.
Gen Z is an infection, though, so it's bound to happen.
Oh, see, this is what we needed. Just a little bit of fun water cooler, or in this case, water bottle talk for the pigs. But holy crap! Like, yeah, I remember there was a few guys that used to do those damn. They used to do. It was almost like the cheap tattoos. Like I forget what they called them because they would just use basically like sewing needle thread and dip it in ink and do tattoos that way, where they would just like tapping the ink in.
Oh yeah, isn't that like the Samoan? Isn't that like the Samoan way of
Well, yeah, they do something similar, but I think they do it with a bone and shit. If they do it traditional.
The Samoans are the really fat people, right?
Yeah.
They probably don't even feel it though, because there's layers, right?
No, you feel it. Trust me, you feel it. Like even when I had a lot more weight on me back then when I first started doing tattoos, because they always suggest that anybody gets into tattooing work, and Scrambles is going to know this for sure, is that they usually suggest that you start working on yourself to kind of get used to how it feels and how deep you should go and everything like that. Because if you're going to screw up on yourself instead of a client. So that was one of the first things I did is I started tattooing on myself. So I did a whole bunch of work on my legs and everything like that, and even with the extra muscle and the extra fat around my leg and everything like that, I felt that shit. I felt it.
Remember when all these women tattooed Daenerys from Game of Thrones and named their kids after her, and then she turned out to be a mass murderer, and George Morton had based her in part on Hitler.
Yes.
That's like, that backfired.
Oh, the naming of the kids, that's the worst.
Yep.
See, Tommy, the one tattoo I got, it didn't hurt. I got I don't even have to see my tattoo. It's on the back of my neck. I don't even have to see it, unless I'm looking in two mirrors. So the only thing that was annoying is that it didn't hurt when they were giving me the tattoo. The only thing that was annoying was having to have my head lean forward for the amount of time they were doing it. So by the time I was done, my neck was a little bit, creaky. It didn't hurt though. The needle didn't hurt at all.
Well, when I was doing my, I showed most of you. I think I showed that Punisher one that I have on my right thigh, right up near my kneecap. The weird thing about that one is actually right when I got around the kneecap, like where there's a little bit less meat and everything, and it almost feels like it's going into the bones and the nerves. That was probably the nastiest thing that I did on myself.
Imagine if a black man has a Punisher tattoo right above the knee, right? When he's running, his dick is going to slap against the Punisher's face.
What the fuck? What's going on, memes?
What's up, memes?
I need more tats, but priorities, yeah. Shit, they're expensive, and that's when it's fun if you know somebody tattoos, you know. Like I was doing a tattoo, like I did the one for my brother. I didn't charge my brother for that. I was like, look, I'm doing a tattoo on you, and he's like, okay. So I put this big, you know, we talked about doing the exploited skull, and I just made it huge on his freaking arm. What's that? Scramble says, I have Unbreakable tattooed on the side of my head. The worst part was having a guy's palms smooshing my eye while he's tattooing it.
No. The worst part is when people start testing if your head actually is unbreakable.
Yeah, you know what? Doing a few of the tattoos that I did, I wound up getting invited to a few parties and everything to do tattoo work. Which, yeah, that's cool. You know, after my regular job, you know, why not? I go to this guy's party. I'm going to get to have a few drinks. I'm going to get paid to do a few tattoos on people. So he wanted a tattoo. He just kind of wanted something simple with his name. So I drew something up for him, something that he liked, which I didn't personally like, but he liked the style of it. So I was like, okay, I can do that for you. So I did his tattoo, and then his woman wanted a tattoo. And she decides she wants one of those little double cherries with the little vine and the vine on the end. You know, I mean, you know, the stick end of the cherries that comes up. Yeah. So that's what she wanted, a double cherry with the stick connecting the two, with like the two little pieces of leaf coming off of it.
Basically trying to get a cherry back.
Yeah. So you want to guess where she wanted it?
Above the cooch?
Yep.
Wow. So
and guess what Tommy doesn't do when he's doing tattoos?
Cooch tattoos?
I do not pay attention to what my hands are doing other than stretching out the skin.
Well, that would make it a twat too, wouldn't it?
So, the whole time I'm doing her tattoo, not even realizing, because I'm just focusing on getting the tattoo done and getting it done right. Yeah, I'm got my fingers all over the nice places, apparently stretching out, and she's getting off. And her man was sitting there, like, looking at me like a cat that had his tail right under a rocking chair. It was the craziest shit ever. And, like, all his boys are surrounding him, looking on. And I'm, like, not a care in the world, just tattooing away. And until I looked over, like, I took my other arm with the gun and I kind of wiped my head because it was a little warm. It was in the summertime. And I looked over and I see them all staring. What the hell are they staring at? And I look at her face and I see, like, she's got that O face. And I looked down and I was like, oh. So you know what I did? I kept my hand exactly where it was and I finished the tattoo because, fuck, I'm already in it at this point. I might as well finish both jobs.
You might as well get to completion.
I still got paid for that tattoo, too.
Plus, you left your mark on his girlfriend.
So, here's my question. Does that make me a gigolo as well?
Well, how was that relationship after?
Probably about 3 or 4 months later, they broke up.
Probably because he probably didn't have a needle dick. So
did she end up calling you up for another tattoo?
She did try to call me up, and I was like, I don't know about this. This is getting kind of weird now. I hate to tell you, I'm like married.
So basically, you put ink in the pink.
Oh man, memes. A kid broke his cast on my head once in high school. I think he broke his arm. Yeah, I still have my tattoo gun and everything. I actually got a brand new one that I never even used. Like, it's a really nice one because the one I had was getting kind of old and worn out. I'd used it so many times, and I had a brand new one that the wife had given me for either Father's Day or Christmas one year, and I never had a chance to use it because it was shortly after she bought it is when my back went completely out and I couldn't do tattoos anymore. So got the brand new tattoo gun sitting up in my closet. Never even used it.
Did you ever use the like when they would make the ghetto style ones with the Walkman?
No. Scramble says he still has 2 tattoo machines. Just need to adjust, and power supply kept shorting out. Yeah, you know what's funny? I never had a problem with the power supply on mine at all. That power supply ran like a champ. And Scrambles, if you picked up some tattoo ink, you probably remember that company, Pyramid. I bought my power supply off Pyramid. Never had any issues with it whatsoever. All right, I'm not creative. You have a good one. Thanks for stopping in, man.
Yeah, later. Later, I'm not creative.
Anybody else with some stories they want to share?
I only have inappropriate stories, so, yeah. So, yeah.
Well, does it matter? Have we been appropriate so far?
Tommy was just talking about fingering a girl while he's tattooing her. Come on.
He started with a race car motor, a big pen, sewing needle, and a speaker wire. Nice. He went all kinds of MacGyver, dystopian future 11 guinea pigs. What's going on, man? Yeah, the guinea pigs would be here if I could get my camera to work. Unfortunately, I cannot. These bastards at CenturyLink. When will it end? So, okay, so why somebody else is trying to figure out a story to share, because it's stories from the water bottle, not just from one source, you bastards. One of the other things that, of course, doing tattoo work is I do a little bit of drawing. This is actually a piece that I was working on for my brother.
Is that from Evil Eddie?
Yes, it's from Evil Ernie. Yeah,
Evil
that's
Ernie,
Smiley.
Evil Ernie, that's it.
Smiley from Evil Ernie that I drew up for him. I was so looking forward to doing that one too, but we just never had a chance before my back gave out and everything. But I mean, that's one of the other things I used to do is I used to do a lot of artwork stuff. I mean, I used to just have fun. Memes, you might appreciate that one. That was one I actually did during a lunch break when I was working for a company that did like Yamaha, Sea-Doo, like dirt bikes, ATVs, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, on my lunch break, I would just draw stuff like this. And I did that one as well, Red Eyes Black Dragon. And then, of course, many of you have seen this one already. I did the artwork for Drew's icon for his channel. And then I've reached out to Nerium Noah, worked on Bonds 2, and did artwork for, of course, her man Red. And she kind of helped me with the metal chrome look of the paint for the S and the H, which because I was having a hard time figuring out how to match the paints up to get it to look like chrome. So she helped me with that, but all the rest of that is all my artwork. So that's some of the other stuff I do. I do have some, I guess, semi talents. Not the best in the world, but I can do some stuff.
It's way better than my art skills, that's for sure.
Yeah, same.
I could draw. It's been a while since I actually drew.
Do you get like that too? This is how I get. Like, I'm either in the mood to draw or I'm not, and I can't.
Yeah.
Like, I can't force myself to draw if I am not in the mood.
Mm-hmm.
That's like people like Vinny and Nerium and some of these other people where they could just kind of like force themselves to draw and just do it. And like, yeah, I have never been like that. I got to be in the mood to be able to do it. And if I'm not, I am never going to be happy with it. And I'm going to make all kinds of mistakes because I'm just not in the mood to do it.
Oh, I have a story from Ireland.
Oh, go for it.
Yeah. You know how, those small villages in Ireland have pubs and everyone goes to the pub on the weekend, the whole damn village? it was in one of those, and it was pouring down. The whole village was in the pub, and in walks a guy carrying a small alligator under his arm. He was alive, and he walks in and puts it on the table, looks around, and says, "Hey, I'm broke. I can't afford any Guinness today, or can't even afford a pint. So I'm willing to make a bet that I can put my dick inside this crocodile's mouth and then punch it in the head as hard as I can. If I dare to do that, all of you have to buy me a beer." And the whole pub cheered because they wanted to see his dick getting bitten off, right? So they were like, "Yeah, you'll get a beer from each of us." It was like, okay. So he dropped his pants, right? And the crocodile is on the table with his mouth open. And he takes out his dick, puts it in the crocodile's mouth. Then he makes a fist. And he looks around the pub, right? Everyone's quiet. And then he punches the crocodile in its head as hard as he can. And there's like a loud gasp, and from the whole pub. And turns around, and the crocodile didn't bite. So he gets about 50 beers, right? He looks at all the beers and it's like, I can't drink all this. I'll tell you what, I'll split it if someone else wants to try this, right? Let's make a bet. Whoever wants to try this will get half my beers. And everyone just, looked away and didn't want to, they looked at their phones and, chickened out until this old lady in her 80s stood up and said, "I want to try, but you mustn't punch me so hard in the head."
That's a good one, Steve. Decepticons, Cave, Comics, and Toys. What's going on, man? What's going on? Scrambles. I had one round of laser tattoo removal on my ex-wife's name and some black stars. I need to get 2 more treatments before I get my Godzilla vs. Ghidorah sleep. Nice. Decepticon, Cave, Comics, and Toys. You all see the Frankenstein Megatron toy that's up on pre-order on Amazon? Have not. I'm gonna have to try to bring up that in a minute. Soul Assassin, what's going on, man? How you doing? Tommy has a unique set of skills he picked up over years working with the collective. Skills that make him a problem for your toes if you cross them. You're damn right. Tree Rock Creations, what up? What up? I need to be in the mood to write as well. Yeah. Yeah, I get like that as well. I was getting like that when I was working with my daughter on the damn comic book. Like I'd get this burst of writing like 10 or 12 pages worth of material. And then all of a sudden it was like I got stuck. And I was like, well, by the time she catches up to me, I'll be able to write the rest. Laser removal hurts worse than getting tattooed. It's true. Yeah, I heard about that. Hey, what's going on, Frankie? Frankie's in the house as well, man. Hope that you're doing well, Frankie. Thanks for stopping in and hanging out, buddy.
I have a question. If you get that laser removal tool thing, why not attach it to one of your battle bots?
That laser is so big, I would have to attach the battle bot to the laser, and then the battle bot would never move. So, what would be the point?
I don't know.
Oh no, is it? He says it's cheap looking. He said, sadly, he's going to buy it anyway.
I still think you should put a claymore on a battle bot and then send the battle bot into Walmart and watch the panic. Just drive after people.
I don't even go to Walmart. Like I avoid going there.
Is it bad?
I just don't like the store.
We don't have them, so it's I wouldn't know. I have seen that people at Walmart page though. Looks pretty they're dressed rather liberally at times.
Yeah, thankfully I've never seen anybody. Well, I don't think I've ever seen anybody dressed like that on that page. But yeah, Walmart is not it's not really not fun to go to. It's just sometimes it's necessary.
The only thing it's good to go there for is to stare at all the weirdos that are. They seem to inhabit that store. Let's see. No. I'll just do entire screen. There we go. So here it is. Supposed to be able to click to expand. There we go. Yeah, that looks like that does not look good.
I like the face. The face looks cool.
I like it.
See,
Yeah.
I've got the Dracula one, and the Dracula one was just trash.
Yeah.
So this is a remake of a figure called Impactor. I recognize the molding. So that figure actually was fairly solid, but if they're reusing the mold, more than likely the joints on this thing are going to be sloppy as shit. It's not the worst I've seen, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, I was totally not happy with the Dracula one. That Dracula one was terrible. I mean, it's nice that he's actually got like the electric rod thing instead of a tank turret.
Yeah, that's cool.
I don't know.
What do they do these for? Do you do these for Halloween? I guess.
I think so. $35 for that thing, for that little figure. That's way too much money for that. That should be a $24 figure at best. I guess because it's another collaborative. You know what? Because I think the Dracula one was $35 too, which is nuts. It shouldn't have been that much money. It's a $24, or should I say $25 toy now.
And that one actually looked cool too.
It looked nice, but it's trash.
That would actually be cheap on my end.
What, 35?
Yeah.
What up, Lurch? How you doing, man? Yeah, Soul's asking. Walmart gets wild after hours when the lunatics show up. Most of the Walmart stores that were near, that are, semi close to where I live, they all used to be 24 hours. They are no longer 24 hours because the freaks come out at night, just like the song says. That ain't no fucking lie. There's some weirdos that I see walking around those stores late at night. I remember one time walking by, and I just turned around and looked at this. I don't even know what the hell it was, like this creature. And I turned to the wife, and I was like, what the fuck was that? Decepticon said he had a hobo jump out of the shirts and talk shit to me. It was fucking 7:02 a.m. They were only open for 2 fucking minutes. What like that scene in Streets of Fire, where that guy jumps out of the rooftop. That weird guy. You know what I'm talking about, right, Slash?
A homeless guy?
Yeah.
Fucking Ed Begley Jr.
Streets of Fire is underrated.
I love them.
That's such a fun movie.
Great soundtrack too.
Oh yeah.
Comes out in January.
I was highly disappointed when it dawned on me that Diane Lane wasn't singing those songs.
Yeah, Frankie, you are not wrong. You can replace a Walmart sign with a sanitarium, and it makes perfect sense. Oh man. So you guys, any more stories?
No.
It could even just be a fun story in a store. Come on, certainly somebody else has something.
No,
I'm trying to think of any store incidents that I've been involved in. Oh, okay. Okay, here's one. I was a little kid. So behind the school I used to go to, I used to go to Catholic school, and behind, in the back of the school, there was a deli, and they expanded into one side of the store was a deli, and the other side of the store was a video store. And in the video store, they had arcade games. So you know me, Tommy. I'm always talking about how I used to search out arcade games, go all over the place in my neighborhood just to play arcade games. Right?
Oh yeah.
So the deli had like an open doorway entrance into the video store. So we're in the video store section playing video games, and the girl from the deli, she walks out and comes up to us, and she says, "You guys got to get out of here right now. You guys got to get out of here right now." She's like dead serious, like, so like, oh shit, okay. So we leave the store, but we're still standing out there waiting. And then the girl came out. She said that some dude just came in with a gun and stuck them up. He stuck up the deli part of the store while we were in the other store playing video games.
Wow.
I gotta say, I guess that's my most serious store incident.
Did the cops come and arrest him?
No, the dude he broke out. He was gone. He was gone by the time the girl came back out and explained to us what happened.
Wow.
I have a Christmas story.
Go ahead.
I feel like this is going to be a joke.
Yeah.
Well, this guy named Mo and a guy named George, two friends, they were walking down the street right on Christmas Eve, and Santa flies by, and George yells, "Ho ho, Santa!" And Santa replies, "Ho ho, George!" And Mo yells, "Ho ho, Santa!" And Santa yells, "Ho ho, Mo!"
Give me all your
Tom.
food and money, deli.
Hopefully Tommy doesn't get demonetized because of...
I would have to get monetized first, which YouTube is never going to allow that to happen. I just don't see it. Not in this lifetime.
No, it wasn't me, Bone.
That's how she got the tattoo in prison. It says Walmart on her. Right. It says deli on her left button.
I thought it would say something like a gabagool or something.
Oh God.
It says input hair. Back up.
That's horrible. I've seen a lot of weird stuff when it comes to stuff like that, though. Like, you're talking serious stuff. Like, I watched this one idiot was jumping off a roof one time. I was like 15. That guy was, I'm going to jump. I was like, well, what are you telling me for?
Oh man, Tommy.
I'm the wrong person to tell that. I'm going to jump. Oh, go ahead. What do you want me to tell you? You want me to take a picture?
You should have went. Might as well jump.
Go ahead, jump.
Tommy working at the suicide hotline.
Yeah, he's like, do it.
He's like, nut up, you pussy.
I'm really having a problem with this life, and I don't know if I can go on. Well, fucking don't. What do you want me to do about it? Stop being a whiny bitch. How many watch hours you need? I don't even know anymore. I don't even know. I want to say it's like over 1,300 at this point, because I can't keep up with how many watch hours they keep taking away from me. I'm going to jump to it. I'll catch you. As I'm walking away. I got you.
There was this one guy on Twitter that used to threaten to kill himself, for attention. He had done it like 10 times. and he started saying he was gonna. This was in December one year, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna jump off the bridge into a river." And I just said, "Remember to put on mittens. It's cold."
Jesus Christ! I hope. Did he post again after that?
He said, "Thank you for your concern."
And he's never posted again.
No, he's threatened to do it, you know, several times.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Like people who are really going to do it, they don't really
They're gonna
talk
do
about it.
Yeah, they're gonna
Yeah.
do it. They don't talk about it. They're gonna do
Yeah.
it.
I accidentally, like, well, I don't know. I shouldn't say accidentally, but we were driving over a popular bridge here in the city, and I saw a guy commit suicide, but I didn't know that's what he was doing at the time. He jumped off the bridge. We were driving over the bridge, and I looked because the sky was like, like he was on the wrong side of the there's like a fence thing that keeps you on the sidewalk, so it's not easy to just jump off the bridge. He was on that wrong side of it, and I was like, what the heck? But there was construction going on the bridge at the same time, and I was like, is that just a worker doing something? I was like, this doesn't look right. And I like turned my head, and he was doing that thing where he was like shimmying his body off of the ledge, and I was like, I turned and I just looked forward as we were driving forward on the bridge, and I said, I think I just saw that guy kill himself. And then we heard on the news later that someone had committed suicide there that day.
Yeah, that's eerie.
Yeah, I was like, I felt so like it really just hit me. I was like, I don't know. It was awful.
I know I've seen, I always talk about stupid people doing stupid things quite often because we see it so often in our daily lives. And I don't care if it's out in the real world or just online with people doing stupid ass shit. Like you just look at like, what the hell is wrong with that son of a bitch? Because there's a lot of dumb son of a bitches out there. And when I was younger, I used to talk about these stupid idiots that used to walk in between the rides when you get like the little carnivals that show up, like school carnivals and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
So they would cut in between the rides all the time. And I said, one of these days, one of those motherfuckers are going to get killed. Sure enough, that's what happened.
Yeah.
Some dumb bitch that couldn't speak English very well, apparently, who was had one of her kids in the school, tried cutting in between the damn rides. It's when, the scrambler rides.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was one of the scrambler cars. She was walking near. She walked too close to one of the low guardrail things in between the rides. Scrambler car came around, but right in the head, and that was lights out, and that was done for her.
Damn.
We had some dumbass tourists a few years ago. There was an article in one of the newspapers about complaints and lawsuits that from like country gets from tourists. And these were Americans, by the way. No offense to any Americans out there. I'm sure it wasn't you. But basically, one guy had read a brochure or something where it said, Norway, home of the midnight sun.
Yeah.
And he had gone to Norway and then on vacation and sued. He tried to sue the country because when he saw the midnight sun, it was the same sun they had in the United States. Oh, bright guy. And another one had tried a lawsuit because he didn't see the trolls, because it said Norway, home of the trolls. And he didn't get to see the trolls and found out later that trolls are mythological creatures. So he felt scammed.
Wow.
It's hard to believe that those people exist amongst us, but luckily we had people to counterbalance that, like Miss Martin Musis, who's in the chat right now. Hello, Miss Martin. I hope that you were doing well. Make sure Miss Martin's link is also posted in the chat. I can see Bone right there at Perch. Had put Lurch's link in the chat as well, and Lurch had a dark story as well because Soul Assassin did point out that this stream sure went dark, and it sure went dark quickly too, didn't it? But Lurch was saying he had a friend who when he was 12, got drunk and jumped off a roof because he thought he could fly. Hence why kids shouldn't get shit-faced. Also, hence why you shouldn't trust in what kids say when they say, I'm a dinosaur, I'm a girl. This is why you shouldn't listen to them.
Yep.
But oh god, like I can't think of any other crazy stories right off the top of my head. Somebody's gonna have to tell another story to jar something loose.
Saw a guy, during COVID, I went to the store and this really obese guy, like truly obese guy, dedicated obese, was standing near the bread.
It was his life's work.
Hold up. It's dedicated.
Yeah.
Hard working.
He made Jabba look like he had anorexia, right? But he was standing there, the bread, and kind of gurgling and roaring into his face mask.
Jesus.
And all of a sudden, he pukes.
Ugh.
While still roaring, and like 15% of the vomit sprayed up onto his eye, up from the mask. And I was like, fuck this. So I hauled ass over to the fruit area, right? To get the hell away. And then I've seen him several times. He's so big that, his arms sticks out because of the side fat.
Yeah.
So he looks like, one of those, Stay Puft Marshmallow Man action figures because the arms stick out, right? So, I saw someone vomit inside his own face mask.
Good
Did
Lord.
it splash up everywhere, too?
It only went upwards. Up the sides of his nose and up towards his eyes.
You know what would have been the best if he had one of those big face shield things, like the big fold down face shield, all up the face shield.
Yeah.
And then start dripping back down into a shirt collar.
That's something you'd see in Evil Dead.
No, Lurch Troll at Six Flags Magic Mountain around 11 years ago, a guy jumped 2 fences he wasn't supposed to go beyond to grab his hat and got decapitated by the roller coaster. Yikes.
Ironically, he doesn't need the hat anymore.
Yeah, right.
He's got nowhere to put it.
What's up, Time Prophet?
He has to shoulder the responsibility of the hat now.
He lost his head over the whole situation. I'm going to hell.
Neck deep in shit.
Yeah, he doesn't have to worry about anything going over his head anymore. Fell asleep and just woke up. That's all right, man. That's all right. It's good to see you.
Someone should have yelled heads up. Well.
Soul Assassin says, I miss the days when us dumb kids just tried to remake the stunts from Jackass. I remember we were doing stuff like before there was Jackass.
Yeah. Way before Jackass.
Freaking nose.
Fat guy falls in a bakery, gets up, falls again. Baker says, you okay? Fat guy says, don't worry, I'm on a roll. I remember hearing some dude getting sucked into a water pump at the wave pool in my city. Yikes.
Jesus.
Wow.
Like, what do you mean? Like, he just, his whole body? Or, like, how did that happen?
Probably a midget.
Yeah. How small was he?
Did anybody see a lollipop before he got sucked in? Me represent the lollipop. That's horrible. We're all going to heck.
Yep.
I'm already there. So
Yeah, that's right. You're in New York. He just got sucked in, crushed.
Oh
yeah.
my God. That's tragic.
Still kind of South Park-ish, though.
There's a lot of stupid people out there that do stupid things. I mean, you know how many people just don't pay attention to anything whatsoever. I had a friend of mine when I was younger. This guy is such an idiot. He kind of like at one point kind of looked like do you remember that movie Young Einstein with Yahoo Serious?
Yahoo Serious.
Yeah, he kind of had that look to him. And this meathead always used to wear like those big gaudy biker rings. This guy was far from ever being a biker in any sense of the word. Like, I don't care if his biker gang was going to be the big wheels, he would have got kicked out of it. This meathead with his biker rings decided he was going to climb a stop sign. No reason, just climb up to the top of a stop sign. Never took off his stupid biker rings. Got his biker ring caught at the top of the stop sign. Damn near ripped his whole finger off.
Damn.
Oh, you know the hurricane stuff that's been going on?
Yeah.
You know, the storms and I think it was a hurricane. It hit southern France as well. Completely destroyed a cheese factory. All that was left was debris.
You're really cracking me up. Oh God. He didn't get the cracking me up part. The graham crackers that they use for cheesecake. Fat guy in a little coat. Yeah, ouch. I hate those people who walk onto the street looking at their phones. Yeah. Oh God. That's and this is what I need, something to jog a memory of a funny moment for me. So my wife and I were coming back from we'd gone out to an Arby's and we were going to go home. And the way we went home when we still lived up in Pennsylvania, Bristol, there was this big mall up there called Oxford Valley Mall. Well, we would go up to this Route 1 and we'd make a left and go down that way and, you know, take a back road to go home. So we're getting ready to turn onto this business Route 1 and I'm watching this girl. So the way the road comes up, it's got like one of those automatic right turn things where you're supposed to yield to oncoming traffic. So most of those cars over there in PA, they don't like to yield for yield signs. Like they, you know, like, I got fucking yield sign. I'm going right through. And they don't even look at the damn shit. So this one guy actually legit stopped at the yield sign like he was supposed to and waited for traffic. The girl behind him was too busy with her face in her phone, not paying attention. And I started shaking away. I was like, watch the girl in the car. Boom! Slams into the guy, and then she starts crying. Oh my God, what happened? I had the biggest laugh of my life watching this girl melt down that she wrecked her car, slamming into the guy in front of her. I'm sorry. That shit to me is fucking hilarious when people don't pay attention. And some of these idiots that just sit there with their face in their phone and walk into traffic, you're getting what's coming to you for being that stupid. I'm sorry. I can't feel sorry for those people. I just can't. I used to live in Bristol, the real Bristol. Yeah, probably much better off than the one in PA. Ashley, what's going on?
What's up, Ashley?
Anybody else got anything interesting?
No, I don't think so. Well,
No.
Okay, I got one. I got one. So, this is I kind of feel like I'm partially to blame for this. The closing years of my dad's life, he would really overdo his medication to the point where he was like, you know, passing out on the fucking couch with lit cigarettes. And putting his socks in the kitchen sink and dragging mattresses around the fucking house like nonsensically, right? He'd be that fucked up. So, you know, I'm a teenager. I wanted to just go out, hang out with my friend in the afternoon. Go to my friend's house, you know, we're just playing video games, smoking blunts and shit. And I wasn't even really out there that long. And when I get home, I see there's an ambulance in front of my house. And I get to my front door and I see it's broken. Like fucking, like someone had to break the door to get into my apartment. So I'm like, what the fuck? And before I go upstairs, my downstairs neighbor comes out and he tells me, yo, your dad is in the ambulance. I'm like, what the fuck? So, you know, I tell them like, yo, I'm his son. Can I see him? So they let me in the back of the ambulance. And his fucking ankle was like, his foot was folded over to the side, like touching part of his leg. Like, you know, it was bent the way feet aren't supposed to bend. And the bone was popping out of his fucking skin. I actually saw his ankle bone popping out of his skin.
Oof.
And, you know, after all was said and done, I had found out that he was so fucked up that he had decided to remember those heaters that were about 3 feet high, 3 to 4 feet high, those old school heaters. And this was during the summer too. I just don't understand. He had decided to climb up the ladder to go into the attic, to bringing the heater up there while he's fucked up on Valium and methadone and whatever the fuck else he took. And he fell off the ladder and landed right on his fucking ankle.
Oh.
Jesus.
Now, I blame myself because if I was home and saw him doing this stupid ass shit, I would have prevented him from doing it. But he was home by himself doing this. So I always kind of blame myself for that.
Well, I mean, I understand how you feel, but I think you probably know, like, you know it, that it wasn't your fault, but you feel it, that it was.
Yeah. But, you know, if I was home, he wouldn't have, I wouldn't have let him do that, you know?
Yeah. But, you know, like, you couldn't have been home with him 24/7.
I know. But I'm just saying, like, I made the decision to go out and fucking smoke weed with my friend rather than be home and prevent any stupidity, you know?
Yeah, I understand I understand what you're saying.
Some things are just meant to happen whether you're there or not. I mean, there's been a lot of circumstances just with the pigs where I wondered, like, well, maybe if I did a little bit more, maybe it wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
And then I start thinking about it later on, and I'm like, I don't know. And like Trina and Vinny, and they were saying like it when the Cringer passed, like you know, a lot of people actually did in the comment section like that. There's probably not much more you could have done. You did everything you could, and you know, everybody always feels like that after. Well, maybe if I was there, maybe if I did a little bit more. And,
yeah, I know. Hindsight, yeah, I know. But you know, it's just always sticks in my mind. And I'm not really amused by that terrible joke, Time Prophet.
Yeah, very ouch. Yeah, not your fault. Yeah, you know, some of them never have. Yeah, it could have happened anytime you weren't home, Slasher. Yeah, that's a problem. Can't be there 24/7.
I guess it's just the fact that I went out and got high while my dad was home all fucked up like that. You know, that's what really got to me. You know, like I made the decision to go out and get high with my friend instead of preventing my high dad from doing that shit.
No, I haven't, Lurch. Right now, I'm sticking with 6. I really don't think I can replace Cringer. You know, and that's what it would feel like if I just like went out to get another pig. It would feel like I'm trying to replace him, and he can't be replaced.
Yeah.
If a new pig does come into the fold, new pig's going to come into the fold of its own accord. It's not going to be forced. I'm not going to go out looking for it. So I want to take it in another direction with somebody doing something stupid and kind of hurting themselves, but not really. So I had this friend of mine, and it's the same friend with the damn biker rings. So he smoked cigarettes all the time, and he wouldn't pay attention to what he was doing. Real clown, which not paying attention to what the hell's going on. So it was snowing out, and we were going to walk like, I forget how many blocks it was, probably like about 15, 20 blocks or better, probably maybe even more than that. We were going to go up to a KFC. So we're walking in, and it had just recently snowed in Trenton. So as we're walking, the snow was like probably about, I don't know, 6 inches deep or so. So it was a good covering on the ground. He's walking, acting like he's all cool, smoking his cigarette, like, you know, Mr. Cool, I'm smoking. I know he doesn't see this damn stop sign because of the snow all over the place and some of the snow sitting on the back of the stop sign, and it's just blending in. He's not paying attention, walks right into the stop sign. Oh, I didn't drop my cigarette. I was like, oh, man, you're so cool. And he starts walking again. And I almost snickered, but I didn't, because underneath the snow, I could see the long pole end of another stop sign that's laying across the sidewalk underneath the snow. And being a good friend, I didn't say anything. So as he steps on it and he slips and he falls and busts his ass and his cigarette goes flying out of his mouth, I was sure to tell him, well, you didn't hold on to it that time, did you, Joe Cool?
What's with this guy and stop signs?
I don't know, man. This guy had a real problem with stop signs. He didn't get it, apparently. Yeah, right.
Yeah, I know that. There's nothing I can do. I don't have a time machine to go back.
Oh, wow. Scrambles, his second wife overdosed on heroin while he was at work.
Yeah.
Felt guilty,
Jesus.
like I should have called off work that day. Yeah, but how can you know? How can you know? Why not get him? Well, Cliff Jumper already has somebody in the cage. He's got Dark Helmet in there with him.
Oh, it's gonna turn into, you know, living hell if one of them gets a mate, right? The other one's gonna lose their shit.
Yeah.
Hold on. Does parrothead mean mate, like as in like a female? Oh, hell no. I have guinea pigs all over the place. The wife will go into a conniption fit.
I was gonna say if that's the case, you got to pimp that one out to all of them.
Right? Yeah, shit. Yeah, I mean, that's the problem with that.
The other 6 pigs are going to go, you know, squeal like a pig, right?
There would be pigs everywhere. Holy shit. The wife would freaking have a cardiac arrest right before her asthma fucking killed her.
Yeah, the pigs are porking again.
See, the Time Prophet said about it amazes him how so many kids did drugs in America. It's not a thing in Britain.
It's not a big thing in Norway either.
Goddamn lie. You gotta tell me all those punk rockers in Britain weren't doing drugs. Come on, Time Prophet. Get for real. They most absolutely were doing drugs left and right. Matter of fact, that's how Sid Vicious picked up the habit.
Well, I was actually ready to believe him, and I was like, I wonder why there's such a difference.
Well, I mean, the only reason that the drug problem is so prevalent here is because of the expendable income that a lot of people do have. I mean, there's a lot more people I would probably think in America to have expendable income than in other countries.
We have way more, because I think Norway is the third richest country in the world per citizen, and we don't have as big a drug problem as you guys have. Not even close.
Also, you know, when you're a teenager, there is such a thing called peer pressure, you know?
Hell no, Parrothead.
My friends didn't up and decide to become cokeheads. Like, there were people who kind of like introduced them to it.
They sniff glue, not drug. Come on, Time Prophet. It's for real, man.
Glue sniffing. Hey, do you know what? That is a thing. It was.
Sniffing glue.
Yeah, and magic markers and
Spray
what else?
paint.
Spray. Yeah, huffing.
Neighbor's
Yes.
wife's underwear.
Yes, indeed, means. Yes, indeed. Tons of guinea pigs. Oh no, I couldn't. I'm telling you, the wife would freaking. She would die. She would literally die because it wouldn't even be so much the pig dander that would kill her. The biggest thing we found that she's allergic to is their hay, and hay is 90% of their diet.
Yeah,
she's allergic to the hay.
Well, it makes sense. So she must get really bad seasonal allergies then.
Oh yeah, she does. Yeah,
Hay
she
fever,
does.
probably.
What's that?
Oh,
What's
Hay
that?
fever, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, she usually like once a year she has to go get the damn shot because her asthma gets so bad, especially during that peak allergy season. So, and yeah, if I let the pig's cages go for too long, she starts getting huffy and puffy.
Yep.
I mean, shit, I tend to get a headache
So,
too. So.
she huffs and puffs against the three little pigs.
They're six. They're six pigs. Yeah, I mean, I would say that the drug problem, like saying about as far as like if you're comparing it to the UK to here, it's because there's a big difference in expendable income.
I'm willing to bet that it's pretty much the same across the world. I mean, I don't know North Korea because do they let out any information about their people at all?
No.
Same with China. They're pretty tight-lipped about what
China obviously had a big giant freaking opium problem because they brought that shit over to the States.
Well, they could be one of those where they manufacture and produce it, but they don't like they're wicked strict about like crimes against it. Like you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. No, Time Prophet. I know it was short-lived. That's why most of them wound up coming over to the States.
Yeah, it couldn't have been that America turned Sid Vicious into a fucking junkie, right?
No, he was a junkie before he came over to the States. Because matter of fact, that's where he met Nancy Spungen. Was over there.
You know, did America turn Keith Richards into a junkie?
I think people pretty much make their own decisions.
But once again, look at the people, like when you're talking about other countries and everything. I mean, look at the type of people that are usually involved in that kind of stuff over there. It's usually people that have the expendable income.
Well, I can see what you mean, but there's a lot of like, it depends on the drug too, because like heroin is very cheap. And you see a lot of homeless that are hooked on it. Now, I don't know, were they poor first or did the heroin make them poor? I have no idea. Chicken egg type situation.
My dad was a heroin addict before he met my mom. When he met my mom, he cleaned himself up. And they gave him methadone, which is all it is fucking replacement heroin.
Mm-hmm.
And he was taking that shit way longer than he was a heroin addict.
Yeah.
Well, that one guy from the New York Dolls died.
From
and that's
methadone?
He was taking methadone, and they say that they think it had something to do with his death. There's all kinds of theories that his methadone was poison and everything else. So, who really knows? But they said he had become extremely paranoid towards the end. That was Johnny Thunders. Bad Take Bojan. In high school, we did whippets, nitrous oxide, and latex balloons. Little did I know that I had a latex allergy. Oh no, one hit and I was out cold, not breathing. It freaked out my whole circle of friends. Yikes.
Jeez.
Time Prophet. What the hell, guy? Are you like one of those teetotalers or something? What's going on here? I didn't drink any alcohol until I was 24.
Jesus.
Which, no, in all fairness, is probably smart.
No, there's nothing wrong with it.
I'm just amazed.
I don't drink at all. I mean, not anymore. I mean, the last time I think I even had any kind of drink is when I visited Slasher and we had a few beers. That was the last time, and goddamn, that was over 2 years ago. Actually, almost 3 now at this point, right? No, 2.
Yeah, it was 2020.
It was 2020, so 3 years. Heroin and meth are cheap. Cocaine is expensive.
See, I stopped all that stuff when I got pregnant with my kids. And then I didn't like touch anything for like, well, the whole time they were growing up, like 20 years, over 20 years.
I've never done drugs. Well, I did hash once. Ate a big chunk of it on a dare, but no, never been into drugs.
Yeah, it's just to me, it always seemed like a waste of money. I'd rather, even back then, I'd rather waste my money on toys. I don't really give a shit because guess what? Even like as far as drinking, and it's not to say that I didn't drink a little bit back in the day, but I wouldn't waste my entire extra income on it. It wasn't going to happen because I want to be able to have something for the money I'm spending. With drugs or alcohol, you have nothing after you've spent it all. If that's all you're spending your money on.
Yeah.
So usually it was like, I got whatever I wanted to get. And then if I had a little bit of money over, then it might have been some drinks or something like that. But yeah, I knew a lot of people, that's all they spend their money on pretty much.
Yep. Especially coke heads. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Coke heads will spend their whole freaking paycheck.
Yep. That's a fact.
And Time Prophet. I don't really know any place where drugs are completely legal.
Isn't Oregon a Portland? Oh man.
Didn't they legalize cocaine?
Yeah, and I think mushrooms and I think everything is legal in Oregon.
Yeah, but it's still federally illegal.
It was funny when they first mentioned that. It was like they banned plastic straws and they legalized cocaine. Now there's a big dilemma.
Scramble says that methadone is worse withdrawal than heroin, like up to 9 months of living hell. Yikes.
Well, isn't it just another drug? Because I remember
it's replacement heroin.
That's what I thought. Because one of my brothers had has a huge problem with drugs, and one time he was like getting off of whatever, and they put him on methadone, and he was even saying this is no different than heroin.
The way my dad used to stumble around the house when he would overdo his friggin' his dosage, yeah, I believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that guy's talking about the legality of drugs, and most places it's still illegal. And then you get contradictions here in the states where you get one state and that started with just with regular marijuana. So you had certain states that were legalizing it, but it was still illegal at the federal level. So it's this contradiction of terms. It's like, oh, well, your state is saying it's legal, but federally, if they want to come in, you're all going to jail.
You know what's weird in Norway, though? If you're 16, you can legally have sex. But you can't buy a porn magazine until you're 18. And it's illegal to buy sex in Norway, but it's not illegal to sell.
Yep.
Which is also weird. And the hookers pay taxes, which makes the government a pimp. Because the government gets a percentage, right?
Yeah, I was just actually replying to Tina about that. I'm really sorry that that happened to you. Um I've actually been on that medication for a long time, and I've never developed a addiction to it. Like thankfully, I can stop and I don't have any symptoms when I do. I take it to help me sleep and for PTSD stuff. But yeah, I have heard horror stories about it.
I mean, that's the problem with a lot of those medications that they have out there. I mean, matter of fact, I was talking about one of the medications, that people take for diabetes. I mean, that metformin shit is dangerous shit. I mean, it's not just the stuff that they use to get people off drugs or anything. It's like every medication that they have. That shit is just, yeah, it's not good for you. Methadone is a semi-synthetic opioid. It was invented by the Germans in World War II as a replacement for morphine, which there was a shortage of at the time.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Soul assassin. Jinx, Tommy.
Hugs, not drugs. Of course, Tommy's right. I'm rarely wrong. And the off chances I am, I'm not going to admit it. Benzodiazepine withdrawal can kill you. So can alcohol.
Yeah.
Sex is legal in Britain at 16. Yeah, okay, that's what you were just talking about. A similar thing in Nevada. I have developed an addiction to Manic Miner and Jet Set Willie. Okay, and you got addiction to video games. Drugs are good for medical uses, but even then, a lot of the medical uses that they have them for, they're not exactly safe for consumption. If they were, why would they have to have restrictions on medications being picked up, or how many times you can have them refilled and all that kind of shit?
You know what's really fucked up though? On the Viagra bottles, it says keep away from children. That's pretty bad.
That's pretty creepy to even think about. Like somebody had to think about that to put that on there.
Maybe they're telling you to keep away from the children while you got your boner swing.
Yeah, that was what I was thinking. And then Joe Biden takes a hit and looks at the bottle and goes,
"You're gonna poke little Jimmy's eye out with that thing."
And Joe Biden goes, "As if I have a problem maintaining an erection near a child."
Yeah, that's wow.
That guy needs to go to jail.
Tina's comment, wow, like I can't believe that happened to you. That's totally fucked up. See,
a friend of mine's mom got addicted through medication the doc kept giving her.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then it just took her off.
Yep. Well, that created the how how heroin is so big here now. It was because of the opioid prescriptions.
Yeah. Donald Trump actually was trying to fight the opioid pandemic, but he was being worked against constantly. But that was one of his big things, I remember. A lot of young people dying from overdoses and stuff.
Yeah.
I hear you, Scrambles. Purdue Pharmaceuticals pushed OxyContin so hard and got so many people hooked, which snowballed into opioid crisis we have today. And it wasn't just Purdue; it was Pfizer, because Pfizer had their Oxy. Wait a minute, what did they call theirs? They called theirs Percocet, because Percocet is actually a Pfizer name. So they had their Percocets that they were getting people hooked on. And lo and behold, who's behind some of the vaccines?
Yeah,
Pfizer is one of those freaking companies. Fucking shitheels.
And
I don't trust
the
anyone.
really disgusting thing is that they know exactly what they were doing. So it wasn't like had just created a medication like, oh, this will help people. They were actually trying to get people hooked on it.
Too bad the Secret Service doesn't do that for Joe. Joe Biden for prison 2024. You know what? I would like to amend that. Joe Biden for the wood chipper 2024. Yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah,
I
agree with Time Prophet.
That is a tough one. Really, when you think about it, because caffeine is addictive, and so is sugar. But 9 times out of 10, what do you find in most drinks with caffeine in it? Sugar of some form.
You know, one thing that works if you're quitting tobacco is actually old video games, because the nicotine withdrawals usually come in bursts of 5 minutes at the most, and then it goes away a bit, and then you get 5 minutes again, right? But if you're playing old video games, they don't have a pause button, you know, so you can just, it keeps you going through those 5 minutes.
The NES had a pause button.
Yeah, well, I'm Commodore 64 stuff. That's what I use.
Yeah, I hear your scrambles. Shit is horrible. Trump's brother died of an overdose, so he never drinks alcohol.
Really?
Yep. That's why he's so against all that stuff.
No, nice, Time Prophet. Wife just informed him that he hasn't had sugar and coffee for 6 months. She has been slowly cutting me down without telling me. Coffee tastes like shit now. You know what? And personally, I prefer coffee that way. I don't put creamer if I have coffee, which I don't have it very often. But if I have it, I just have it just straight up black. I want the shit to taste disgusting because it's not something I want to enjoy. It's supposed to help wake me up. I don't want to have fun drinking it.
Oh man, Tommy, you are so funny.
Like that nasty roadside coffee, like the stuff that almost looks like Mississippi mud when you drink it.
Yeah, you could pave roads with it.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm talking about. You know, like you take a sip of that and you're like, and you wake the fuck up quickly. The more you try to dull down the taste of it, the less it's going to wake you up. You want that shock, like, oh my God, what did I just drink? And if you want the coffee to taste even nastier, if it's nasty roadside coffee, let that shit get cold first and then drink it. I don't know. And I had a friend that actually worked for one of those companies, and I can't remember if it's Pfizer or whatever, but yeah, the amount of drugs that those places print up in such a short time, like he was talking about the Percocets. When they make it and they run those things, they have sheets of Percocets. They come 500 pills to a sheet. And he said they run thousands of those things a minute. Think about how much that they're running and how much money they're making. It's disgusting. Yeah, they're raising the prices on all the medication. They get people hooked on that shit, and then they start raising the prices. And then another trick that they like to do is they like to lower dosages on people to make them take more. But that don't burn. Everyone should try DMT at least once. He loves coffee. Soul Assassin, I don't like coffee, but I like the smell of it. I think that depends on the coffee. Some of those coffees just smell disgusting. There's only one proper way to drink coffee. Uh-oh. Miss Martin is about to give it to us, ain't she? The only caffeinated drink I have is coffee with non-dairy creamer and honey. Huh. They make earworm jingle songs for their drugs so they stick in your head. Black coffee is great, see? Curtis is just laughing away at us. I used to like vodka and Red Bull. Oh, yikes. What is the other one? Is beer and Red Bull in a glass, like a I think they call it a Irish car bomb or something.
Or isn't that Bailey's and Guinness?
Is it? I thought I remember
yeah.
something with Red Bull though. Is that with Red Bull too?
No.
The Irish car bomb, I think, is just a shot of Bailey's dropped in a glass of Guinness.
Yep.
Freaking Papa. And Tank Boach is giving them the eyes. Learn chemistry and we can all make our own drugs, right? That's not a bad idea.
Well, if you're a lizard doesn't work, maybe it's a erectile dysfunction. Have you thought of that?
Boo hiss. Apparently, they put a lot more fluoride in American drinking water in Britain. Fluoride lowers your test. Fluoride actually poisons you.
Yeah.
But there's a whole bunch of that shit that's actually causing problems. People that have a lot of problems, and that was one of the things that I never did in Jersey. I never drank the water because not only did they put a lot of fluoride in the water, they also put a lot of freaking chlorine in their water. I just wouldn't drink it.
Yeah. Yeah, they have to do that with the chlorine.
Jaeger and Red Bull.
Jaeger, oh my God, Jaeger. I thought I had too many bad experiences from that shit.
And it's a one-way ticket to death if a dumb American orders one in Ireland. My favorite was always either Bushmills or oh God, why am I blanking on the name of the other big one? Jameson's. So it's either Bushmills or Jameson's with a splash of the Irish cream on top.
Yeah, the scramble says Bailey's and Jameson dropped into a cup of Guinness.
Okay.
Am I the only one who just drinks normal coffee?
Well, what do you consider normal?
Coffee in a cup without bacon, cream, honey.
Black coffee.
Whatever. Yeah.
Black. Oh, there's a lot of people that do it that way.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That when I do have coffee, that's how I have it. The only way I have it, if it has something in it, if it's like a frappuccino, like it's a pre-mixed thing, that it comes like that. Like, you get this little glass bottles. Because like the wife brought me home a couple the other day, and I was like, oh, these are kind of tasty, but it's not something I would normally have. So there was a Twix, and the other one was Twinkie Frappuccinos. Neither one tasted like the snack cake at all. But they were exceedingly sweet. They were good, but they were exceedingly sweet.
That's those flavored coffees are just. I have to like do it sparingly.
A Jaeger bomb. Okay, Red Bull and Jägermeister. I remember it was bomb something. That's why I was thinking it was Irish car bomb. It's not something I normally would have ordered. Like I said, when I did the stuff at the Bailey's, I get a highball glass, and I would specifically order it that way. Highball glass about 3/4 of the way filled up, and then the top just splashed with a little bit of like Bailey's or whatever Irish cream that they had. Because sometimes they didn't have Bailey's. They had, what was the other one? There's another brand that they used to use, and I'm blanking on it right now. But it was just as good as Bailey's. Funny how a divorce clears up erectile dysfunction with a single pill. You get her.
Where's Tina with the eyes again?
Yeah, right. When you get a bad house builder, you get a erectile dysfunction. Oh, Frankie.
You know what's also kind of interesting though? Guys wake up with a hard on, and women wake up with a yawn. So fits, right?
Lurch, I did partly do a stream where I was talking about the fluoride shit and everything. That was goddamn. Was that last month? I forget when that was exactly.
You know how a lot of women want to do like role reversals in bed, right? So one of them asked me if I wanted to do that, right? So I just told him, yeah, okay, I'll do it. I have a headache. Good night.
Okay, so I'm glad that story didn't end with like you wearing a skirt or something like that.
No, I'm not a midget.
Yeah, Time Prophet. Never open your eyes underwater in chlorine. How do you know where you swim if you don't open your eyes? You guess. A Jaeger monster is made with monster. That's the way it works. That's something else I never drank. I never drank a lot of those energy type drinks. Like, have you guys ever had those like little 24-hour things?
No, I don't do caffeine.
Oh, those little 24-hour like little chuggable things are absolutely disgusting.
Oh, you mean like 5-hour energy, like those fucking things?
Yeah, well, a lot of them they say like that it's more than 5 hours. Like they say these things can keep you going for up to 24 hours. But oh god, man, I had a few of them one time, like, and they were like the extra strength. And oh man, made me feel sick for hours. Like probably a good 10 hours or so. I felt like sick to my stomach. Where do you find a monster at the store? Go to Walmart. You find a lot of big flat back monsters in there. I remember, and I meant to say do another stream like that. Oh, okay, yeah. Maybe one day we'll get into talking about that stuff again. I just kind of want to have a little bit of, water talks, like the old water cooler talks, just hanging out and chilling and not getting too serious. I mean, if some serious topics pop up in the middle when we're discussing things, it happens, but I didn't want to center on that kind of stuff right now. I needed a break. And they put caffeine in most sodas.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's only a few that don't have it. Like, what is it? Like ginger ale, root beer.
Seltzer.
They're actually selling caffeine-free Coca-Cola in Norway now.
Now?
Yeah.
You're just getting it now?
Yeah.
Oh my god, we've had that for years.
Really?
Yeah. You can get caffeine-free Diet Coke now.
Yeah.
Well, you could for a long time.
Oh. Well, we're lagging behind a bit.
Because you don't have a Walmart.
Yeah.
Oh, 300 milligrams of caffeine on top of the 70 of Vyvanse. Yeah.
Vyvanse. Yep.
Hey, Tommy, I'm gonna drop.
We're getting ready to close out.
Okay,
So
I got you.
we've already been at it for an hour and 48 minutes, and we're closing in on that 2-hour mark when I like to take a break and relax. I do have pig cages to get to today. Bad Take Bojan in the U.S., most root beer has caffeine. Actually, most root beer does not have caffeine. At least most of the ones I've seen. Like, I know. God, it was A&W root beer.
Mm-hmm.
Most of those don't have caffeine. Mug root beer was another one, and Barks usually doesn't have caffeine in it either. I'm not really sure which ones do have caffeine, because I know when I started to dip back into soft drinks after beating type 2 diabetes, Tina, one of the things that I did is I started drinking root beer, because most root beers didn't have caffeine. If you have type 2 diabetes, caffeine is really bad trigger for it. Yeah, move to Florida.
No, I'm no. First of all, I'll probably piss off someone right away and then get killed. Secondly, it's the heat.
The heat,
I'm not used to the heat.
You know what, Papa? Most people know what was in most soft drinks and most candy bars. People wouldn't eat or drink anything ever again. But guys, by her, Barks and A&W have caffeine. Really? Yeah, most of the places down here they doesn't have it. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to hand it over to everybody so they can let you know what they got going on. And here we go.
You know me, but I don't remember smelling you before. Who are you and where do you come from?
Hey, what's up? I think I'm gonna do the wrestling stream this Wednesday, Tommy. Tomorrow, if you're gonna be around.
I'm not sure when we get done because Trina does have the Evil Dead stream tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, you know how it goes when I set up the streams, motherfuckers.
Oh, I know.
45 goddamn minutes.
45 minutes to an hour later. It's like we're waiting on women to change their clothes so we can start the stream.
Yeah,
they'll be dead by dawn, though.
I'll do the wrestling. I'm gonna do the wrestling stream tomorrow, and Saturday I'm gonna do a movie. Showdown in Little Tokyo.
Nice.
Good movie.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen it, so I want to check it out again. Do a review on it. Yeah, that's me. Thanks for letting me chill, Tommy.
Oh, anytime, my friend. Anytime, man. It's always a pleasure to have you hang out with us.
Hey, man. Gonna drop now. Talk to everybody.
Take care, Slasher. Good to see you.
All right, take it easy, Slasher.
Take care and be well.
This must be where they sacrifice virgins.
Well, it was fun streaming with you guys tonight. Thank you again for having me on. Tomorrow on my channel at Real Horror, we'll be doing season 3 of Ash vs. Evil Dead. So that should be fun. We'll be wrapping that series up. Otherwise, hope you all have a great night. And it was good to be with all you guys. You guys in the chat as well.
No, thanks for hanging out, Trina. Just having a little bit of fun, a little bit of water bottle stories. I'm gonna have to change that if I do another one like this. I don't know what I'm gonna call it. Like maybe the hay rack stories. Like I don't know. Like how many guinea pig things can I fit into the titles of these streams? I always appreciate having you on, guys. Everybody's links, of course, are in the description down below. Some of the mods want to drop everybody's links too. I'll appreciate that as well. And then we're going to turn it over to Steeg. Steeg, let everybody for identification.
Hi. Well, I actually do have a stream I'm supposed to be on tomorrow on Mora's channel, Jade Shadow. We're doing a monthly thing called The Weird, the Bad, and the Funny, or something. I don't know. Where we just, instead of talking about, stuff we're pissed off about, right? We're talking about, funny bits of news and whatever. Joke about that. So, yeah, way more positive than, being upset at, Brie Larson or something like that. So we're doing that tomorrow. And that's the only thing I have planned for the coming month.
It's good to have a little bit of downtime, though, isn't it?
Oh, hell yes. I used to do way too much YouTube.
Yeah, it does get to be a bit much. But, Steve, thanks for coming and hanging out. Thanks for sharing some of your funny stories. Appreciate it, buddy.
Yeah, thank you for having me on. And thank you to the chat for being good company as always. And to Trina and Slasher as well for being great company.
You as well, Stig.
Yes, I was good at keeping myself company too. Thank you.
I know Adam tried to hang out and unfortunately lost connection. And it's okay, Adam. I know you had to go fly over to the dead guy talking about AEW, the shitty ass wrestling. I appreciate him stopping in for a few minutes and hanging out with us while he could. And thank you to every single one of you that have been in the chat: Soul Assassin, Bone, The Time Prophet, Curtis YZ, Papa Cotton, Tina Bojan, Parrot Head, Frankie Knows, Scrambles the Death Dealer, Miss Martin Muses, Lurch, Slight Return.
Teresa has a stream in a few with.
Okay.
She's talking with Stone Loki.
All right, guys, be sure to stop over there. I don't know if Miss Martin is still in the chat or if somebody could drop her link that's still in the chat for her, but I would greatly appreciate it if you did. Stop by and check out Miss Martin Muses as she talks with Loki. Everybody knows Loki, Morning of Mischief. If you don't, you should definitely stop by and say hi. Soul Assassin, I'm pretty sure I already said Soul Assassin. Everybody else that has been in the chat tonight, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for hanging out with us. As we just chat about random things, hopefully you learned something new about everybody that's been up here. Hopefully you'll learn something new about me and understand, okay, that's why this guy is such an asshole, because that would pretty much probably be it. Because I was a musician, an artist, and a tattooist. That's why I'm a dickhead. It is totally not my fault. But guys, thanks for being here and hanging out.
He's using the tattoo stuff as an excuse to grow back his quants.
Hey, man, ain't nothing wrong with that. Guys, thank you for hanging out with us. Remember, never let anybody tell you what you can and can't say, what you should or should not think, because your silence and your compliance gives consent. And we will catch you next time. Later, y'all.